First, I'm going to reveal the 5 cards that Bazaar has given to me. Thank you, Bazaar. It's always a pleasure. I love the cards. I love playing this game. So it's a pleasure, truly, to show these cards to the community. After that, I'll post all of them on the Bazaar update channel on my Discord. And then we'll do a review of the other cards that have already been revealed by other creators. Retromation, Kriparian, and Snnazer have also revealed 5 cards. So make sure to check them out as well. But here they are. I'll just start with the best one. The one you've all been asking for. This is the Rice Baller. That's number 1. So this starts at silver. It is a 7-second cooldown item. Medium tool. This has a +1 multicast for each item you have in play with value over 10. So what I didn't know about this card, and Retromation pointed this out to me, this is a reference to Arrested Development, where there's like a skit with the Corn Baller. I just saw the 20-second skit, and it's kind of hilarious. This looks like a reference to that, and it's awesome. So with this card, because it says this has +1 multicast for each item you have in play with value over 10, it kind of looks like it's kind of moving towards like value pig that you can kind of like enable earlier in the game. I love Property Baron Pig, where you play like Subscraper, Skyscraper, Landscraper, and stuff like that. This looks like you might be able to get it online a little bit earlier in the game. It also makes cards like jewelry a little bit better. I think it's jewelry. That's like the small item that shields you equal to its value. I think this card is very good. The thing is, at most, right? At most, you can have 8 multicast on this, and that's very generous. You have a medium item, and then you have 8 small items, and let's say they're all value over 10. Also, I don't know if this counts itself. I have no idea if this counts itself. So you can have 8 or 9 multicast. If you have 8 or 9, that's like a burn 40 at silver. Maybe like it gets 5 per level or something. I have no idea. At max rank, like if we're being very optimistic, maybe this burns for like 100. Very optimistic. That's still like, that's not as good as a kiss. You know, a luxury kiss is still better than this, but I like the synergy way more. Also, there are a lot of synergies with multicast, right? Like activating items a lot is actually very good. That ain't it. I think this item is very good. Like this item, I would probably rate like a 7 or 8. Seems like an early game item. I don't think it. I think this is like a really good mid game item, and I think you could probably play this in the late game as well, probably. The reason I'm excited for this is because it really pushes that value matters on your items with Pig. And that's my favorite way to play. And now it just feels like there's more reason to put value on something else. We had, like, one of my favorite things to do used to be just buying a Truffles, putting it next to the rewards card, next to the ledger, and just letting that Truffle sit there. Just like all game, and then it's like, hey, a gym. And then suddenly you can just immediately transfer that 40 value on the Truffle to that gym. That's no longer possible because Truffles have been changed. However, now that there are more targets to put value on that will have more forms of payoff, I love that. And I think this is very important to like kind of glue together some of Pig's archetypes. So this is a really cool card. Big fan, big fan. I think it's quite good too. So the other one that kind of fits into the same archetype, I think, is the Hyper Greens. This is the second card for Pig. How does it scale? Reduce cooldown? I don't know. I don't know how the Rice Baller scales. So this is a 4-second cooldown item. It's a tool. Adjacent items gain 3 value for the fight. So if you played this with like the Rice Baller, you could activate it like in the fight. You put it next to 2 items, and when this activates like twice, it could give some multicast to the Rice Baller, which is great. It's very, like, in the mid game, you're not super likely to actually have that value on the other items, and with this, you can kind of do that in combat. I do not see the vision here. Oh, I absolutely do. I think these items are insanely good, like, unironically. Scaling heals medium items, so hefty on the board real estate. No, that's true. It is two spots, but these are the items you need to kind of get, like, I play Pig a lot. Pig is my most played hero, so I'm very happy that I got to actually show some Pig items because I can evaluate them a lot better. And very often what you're doing with Pig is you have like these junk items that don't really do their thing because they don't have the value. And now because you're only doing it in combat and not outside of combat as well, I feel like it's way easier to design or like put these cards in the game because they're not like breaking your road to the late game essentially. And this kind of helps with that. Like, let's say you're missing the rewards card or ledger, it's gonna just kind of act as an in-between. You're probably not taking this to the late game, but it is very good to just win some fights in the mid game. Also, it says when you use an adjacent item, heal equal to the value of adjacent items. Also pretty good. It's pretty good. I think this item is very, very good. I think this part you can almost ignore. This is like a nice little extra. Maybe sometimes there is like a moment where it's like, okay, maybe I put this next to a really fast cooldown item. Maybe I'll put this next to a, I don't know, another ladle or something. Next to a yo-yo, just so I can have more heals. And it's not terrible. It's good for sub. I think it's fine for sub, yeah. No, for sub, this would definitely work. It's like, you don't really care about this. Like, this text, adjacent items gain 3 value for the fight. That's good in the mid game. This might be good in the late game. I also don't know how this works with the luxury 10s. I don't know if this, the multicast here would be for this, where they get 6 value instead, I guess. But yeah, there are two pretty distinct things that this item tries to do, and both of them kind of work together quite well. But it's also like, this is more for the mid game, this is more for the late game. Because in the late game, you're already going to have like a ton of value, and then 3 extra value isn't going to do a whole lot. So that is Hyper Greens. Let's go to the next one. The next ones are less about the value. So we'll start with this one. This is probably my favorite one. Ring King Gauntlets with a multicast 2. Deal damage equal to 1 times your income. Multicast 2. While in play, you have +1 income. So I'm confused about this part of the text. Do you just get 1 income in the fight? That does have synergy with certain things, like ATM matters. There is another item that shields you based on your income, I think. You have skills, like you gain damage based on your income. I guess that's what it's for. It feels a bit out of place, but there is synergy there. But I love clicking income every single time I get. Maybe 1 income on board? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's it. That would make sense, I guess. It is a stronger Helody, yeah. It's way better. Like it says 6 damage because every game you have 5 income and this gives you 1 income, so it's 6. I wonder if when this upgrades, you get damage equal to 2 times, 3 times, 4 times your income. It's also a bit odd that the damage icon is here on this 1 times your income. I don't know what that means for scaling. Probably so you can't buy it and keep it on stash. Yeah, I guess so. It is a bit... Yeah, oh, right. So I guess what that means is you would have to have this in the fight so that you get the +1 income on the next day. Because if you put this in your stash or you don't start the fight with it, you never get this income, right? Because income ticks at the start of a day. That makes sense. Yeah, so it's okay, that makes sense. So it's like a knee brace. Yeah, right. Knee brace of income? Very cool. Yeah, I like that. And it is a tech, yeah. So you can get this from schematics. I really like that, actually, that you have to have it on board after the fight. That is very interesting. I also think it's just an insane item because it is a multicast 2 on a 5-second cooldown. Like, damage for Pig mostly matters in the early game because Pig just scales. Like, it's all about scaling. So you put this in with a drum or a gym, and suddenly you have a 5-second cooldown multicast item, and that is very, very good. So I think this is just baseline extremely strong. This is very, very good item. And this is just like a nice bonus. I like this item a lot, and it's bronze, so you're gonna see it a lot. Income start about to go crazy. It already did, to be honest. This looks very fun. Yep. Yeah, I like this one. I like it a lot. Probably my favorite. Does it upgrade with more income? Well, it says 1 times your income. So I think because it says it like this, at silver, it will probably be 2 times your income. But I really don't know. Do you know what enchantment? No. I just have like a standard pack of cards. And these are the only images in them and the full art. So I don't know what enchants do or how they scale to higher rarities. Which, you know, that's fine. Let's leave something to find out in-game as well instead of me giving everything away, you know? Alright, we got 2 more cards. 2 more. Let's do this one. This is the Speedrunner. I showed the art of this on stream a couple of days ago. Actually, it was yesterday. This is a bronze item as well, a toy tech. This one is very interesting because it's also trying to tie together other archetypes. Charge 1 non-toy item 1 second. When you use another toy, charge this 1 second. This feels like it has the potential to completely break the game. Yo-yo is a toy too. Yes, yo-yo is a toy. Yeah. So when you go galactic with the yo-yo, it will charge this. This is a very good item, and it also requires very specific boards. Pickles and a one-shot item? Yeah, exactly. You can do that, yeah. Atlatl plus Yo-Yo plus Speedrunner. Atlatl is a non-toy. But this, yeah, this with a model ship, like, you do the model ship, you do Yo-Yo, you do this, and then like a bunch of other fast toys, like, you know, maybe a wand or something. And then you have one boulder or something, you like one-shot item, and the Speedrunner will just giga charge it. Kind of. I don't really know how fast it will go, but it is really interesting. How upgrade do? I do not know. Yeah, I don't know how this upgrades. It could be that the cooldown goes down. It could be that it charges faster. I don't know. Probably charges for more. I mean, it starts at bronze. If it charges for more, it would imply 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. That's kind of crazy. It only charges one non-toy item, though, not everything. I feel like battery goes 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is basically Pig's battery. This is a scary item, man. Like, it really is. It's a very scary item. Is this good with Gym Yo-Yo? I don't think so. Actually, you would need more toys. Like, maybe there is, like, a Yo-Yo slingshot type of build. Like, a bunch of toy weapons. And it can also appear in the toy store for anyone. Yes, that's also important. Yeah. So, this is probably an item we're going to see a lot. How about at the end, when we've gone over all the cards, I give them all a rating? I think I would. I think I can do that. So, so far, yeah, this definitely looks like it's the most powerful out of the bunch. And every time I say that, they turn out to be completely unplayable. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then I have one more card. This one is very interesting. It's a little bit weird, but it's also, it's quite specific in what it wants to do. This is a property. Medium property. Showcase. We got a bunch of hats here. If you have 3 or more weapons, they gain plus 20 damage for the fight. If you have 3 or more shield items, they gain 20 shield for the fight. This also feels like it is a very good early game item for Pig. It starts at bronze. This can potentially be a Ganjo type of item, where you do want like a healthy mix of shield and damage items. So what I was thinking with this is, for example, the Tusked Helm, which you can kind of see here in the bottom right, is a shield and damage item. So it gets plus 20, plus 20. This is also very good with the Apropos Chapeau, because Apropos Chapeau really cares about having a property on the board. And, you know, it also buffs damage and shielding. So you already want items like that. And then this one just does that as well, and medium, which is very good. Kind of ass because for small or medium, middle item. See, these items, I'm kind of rating them for the early game. And in the early game, I think this is insane. In the early and mid game, this is very good. But I think it kind of sucks in the late game. I don't think the scaling on a 5-second cooldown item matters at all in the late game. But if you don't have 3, it does nothing. If you don't have 3 shield items, this text is just ignored. So yeah, that's why I think that items that both shield and damage are going to be very good. This to stabilize the early game. Yeah, and it's a nice property, right? Like, Pig getting properties is good. Pig loves properties. I think there will probably be some nerfs to property Pig, because, you know, bees are very good. The kiss is very, very good. But this would be another one to add to the pool to scale all your other stuff. Would this fit in a Crook build? Early on, I think so, yeah. I think most of the time when you're playing Crook, you just want to get your Crook as soon as possible, and then you'll play any medium-sized item that does anything at all. You know, that is a bit optimistic. And then you try to scale it into like actual good medium items. But very often you're playing Crook and you have like 3 or 4 good square items, and then you just have like, I don't know, an ATM in there just because it's a square. Yeah, bad late game, and it looks very, very good in the early game to me. Like 20 damage and 20 shielding in the early game on a 5-second cooldown is no joke. That is Ganjo levels of scaling. And it's like your entire board. But it does have a restriction where you do need 3 weapons or 3 shield items. You can't always do that. It is an actual shark class, but it doesn't like deal damage itself. But this item I think is insane. For the early game, this is like we've been talking about Pig's early game where it's like, yeah, get Lumbors, get Ganjo, get Robe. But now the showcase feels like it fits right into that. And I'm really happy with this, because if you're playing some of those early game items, the only one that really transitions into like a mid-game board is Apropos Chapeau. And Apropos Chapeau is also not that good in the late game, but this is like a perfect transition for Apropos Chapeau as well. This expansion buffs early and mid game and gives a few very, very good items, weapon and stuff, and give you with fitness a full... I agree. Exactly. Yes, thank you, Snazer. And what's important about that is that not only are they good in the early and mid game, they're also good at kind of like finding you that transition point where items like this one, you know, giving that value to your items to the side. Very often you'll have these items that you want to play in the late game, but they're not quite powerful enough with enough value. But that also means that in the state of the game you're at, like in the mid or early game, that 3 value will go a very long way. You can't really play this in the late game, I don't think. You know, it's fine with like maybe a billboard or something, I don't know. But it's just really good at giving you that angle for a build. To just make the game actually playable instead of just like juggling all these tools that you don't know how to use. With the context of the other half of the pig package, how do you feel about these? I love these because it's exactly what I want for pig. I really like playing value-based pig, and I always felt like the early game was extremely lacking for that. The early and mid game. Mid game less so, but early game especially. And these feel like they kind of fill that hole. So I'm really, really, really happy with these. This is what I'm looking for with pig. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the other 15 cards as well. So let's start with the cards that Kripparrian has revealed. You can kind of see him chilling in the corner here. Very, very good marketing, you know. Putting himself on there. It's good. Okay. So let's go over these as well. We'll review all the other 15 cards, and then let's give them a rating. Just why the hell not? I'm going to be completely wrong, but it'll be fun. So, this is the cards revealed by Kripparrian. 28-hour fitness is a property with no cooldown. It's large. When you use a weapon, your items with shield gain 10 shield for the fight. When you use a shield item, your weapons gain 10 damage for the fight. This is like the potential to be completely galactic in the late game. But I need to kind of like see what a board would look like here. Gym 2.0. Yeah, kind of. It feels closer to drum to me, if anything. But like, drum is very aggressive, and this gives you like that, that kind of like that in between. With new items totally busted, without new items still busted. Yeah, I think so too. I think this is exactly the item that you want to play with all. Like, this is the one that ties the new package together. And if we're thinking old card, is like, yeah, this is fine. But with the new card, this seems like it would be crazy. So, you know, to put this into context, let's just go to the next one. There's, for example, this one. This has +1 multicast for each item you have in play with value over 10. So this is kind of the one that might break this card because of the multicast. If this has a bunch of I mean, it's like an 8-second cooldown, which is pretty high. But this giga buffs your stuff. Like, you have to realize that with multicast, if you have a diamond yo-yo next to this as well, the yo-yo will go off a million times. It will get its damage buffed a million times. Like, it's kind of fallen out of favor. But what I would compare this to is back in the day, you would very often see a really fast property. It was like I forgot how exactly it worked, but it was like the Vineyard and Landscraper combo, where their cooldown went down based on something. I just remember them being extreme, or it was like they activated when you did X. That was it. So there was like this skill that said when you use a property, give your shield item shield and give your damage items damage. And this is kind of that, but in item form. There is this reverse duct tape item, and then you die after 8 seconds. Reverse duct tape, which one is that? Is that this one? Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, exactly. This one is an even better example. Adjacent items gain 5 shields for the fight. When the item to the left of the shield, deal 5 damage. So usually it's when you use the item to the left with duct tape, it shields. This one instead deals damage. So I guess a board would look like you have this item, the 28-hour fitness. You have this item right here. You have the bad blocker. Okay, come on. Right here. Hold on, guys. I can... You son of a bitch. I can figure this out. You have this item right there. And then what you have right here is right here is a yo-yo. There you go. That's the build. We're done. Right? It's a bit slow. It's a bit slow, but this is like, this is the dream, right? You do need an enchant on the yo-yo, yeah. So you would probably have to like put this here and the yo-yo here. It would be yo-yo here, my bad. The 3 crit build. If you have already a few fast items and then these 2 items go over, you're dead. Yeah, the one thing that's like a downside on this is the 8-second cooldown, but when this progs, you just win the game immediately. Because, yeah, you're using a weapon. Actually, does this count as you? This would have to go off on a 5-second cooldown, so it's harder to buff the shielding, but you only really care about the damage anyway. When will the patch with the new stuff drop? On Wednesday. Yeah, this seems like a crazy good build to me. Very, very good. Like, the fact of the matter is that with these items, this is 5 slots on the item. You probably want like a yo-yo or something, or just like something to benefit from the 28-hour fitness. But you can just fill up the rest of the board with like other good items that help this build, and they like we'll find out what best in slot is for this build. But this is already like a very, very powerful angle in my eyes. This seems really good. Like we see a lot of items from Pig that need like a good amount of time to actually go off. I don't think 8 seconds is unreasonable if it just basically wins you the game very fast. Just get the Sabertooth skill and upgrade Bad Blocker to Diamond. There you go. There you go. Yeah, you get these items for or these cards for free if you get your Battle Pass to level 50 and 30. So I think that these items are very, very good. And we haven't talked about one of the best looking cards of the expansion. Pen FT. Which is just kind of a hilarious name. Your items gain 3 value for the fight. Super simple, but this is another one of those glue items. Just like the greens, the hyper greens. Where it's just like giving value to your items is so relevant. It's just so good. This goes off twice and your rice baller, like by the time your rice baller goes off, all your items will already have 10 value, basically. Because it's penguin. Oh my god, I get it. That's why. Oh, I was looking at a different angle, but that's even better. These fall off though? Yeah, I know, Nick. I know, but that, like, falling off as Pig? Have you played Bazaar? Pig? Falling off in the late game? Are we playing the same game? That doesn't happen. Pig is a late game superhero. I wonder if this buff will be permanent like Earring was. Yeah, that would be very broken, so I don't think so. It says for the fight, so if it does, it's a bug. I know Sunny knows a lot of... Man, shut the hell up, Nick. I'm not... Come on! Leave me alone, man. Pen FT instead should have scaling value. It will be broken. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like your items gain value equal to this item's value on a 2-second cooldown. That's kind of sick. Yeah, I like that. More love for Pig. Nobody will hate that. Everybody will love Pig buffs. Yeah, no, this item is very good. I'm super happy that cards like this exist. Like, don't get me wrong. Everybody's gonna say like, oh, this is great for Fixer Upper. This is great for the Kiss. And yes, it is. But it's also very good to make some of his items that are just way hard to make work actually playable. And that's also important. Those are the cards that I like to play. Like, I love Billboard. I love Billboard so much. But it's hard to get off the ground sometimes. And this will just give it that little boost sometimes. So yeah, it's a simple little item. But I think cards like this existing is just really important for Pig. Because you're not just like scrambling in the mid game. You can actually like play boards instead of having everything in your inventory until they're finally relevant. You can actually put them in a little bit earlier, and there's like more of a thought process behind it too. So I think it's going to be strong, but I also just think it's going to make Pig way more enjoyable to play. That's, you know, that's arguably the more important part. So we saw the Bad Blocker, we saw 28-hour fitness, we saw Wrist Warrior, which are more like the kind of like the build around cards. These are not good by default. You do have to do the work. Whereas this is the kind of card where it's like, okay, I have some cards that are not good by default, but this makes them a little bit better so I can actually win fights with them. And that's just like, that's what Pig needs in my opinion. And then we have the last card from the Pig pack. The Coin Cure. Gain regeneration for the fight equal to 1 times this item's value. When you win a fight with Coin Cure in play, increase this item's value by +3. When you lose a fight with Coin Cure in play, permanently destroy this and gain gold equal to its value. Man, how glad are you guys that I'm sitting here reading this for you? Nobody would know what this card does because there's way too much text. I don't know, man. I'm happy for you. Or not. I didn't read all that. That's what I'm here for, guys. I'll do the reading for you. This seems like, seems fine. I think this one is like probably one of the weaker ones, where this feels like an item similar to the little plant. The same plant that Barkin is holding. The bonsai, I think it is? Or it's like, you want to put this in PvE fights. The thing is, I mean, you can still sell this, right? Like, it doesn't have to break. You don't have to lose with this. I really like this text, actually. I loved it, because it makes it feel a lot less bad when you, like, get screwed over by RNG. This is a great text to have in an item like this. Because, like, when you're playing bonsai or stained glass window, you're already, like, kind of losing an item that could be very good. But then you don't even get anything for it. They're just gone. So this on a break item, I think is really, really cool. But yeah, you don't have to think like, oh, now I need to lose a fight to actually get the value. No, you can just sell it. When you're done with it, just sell it. I like having items to put some value on, and you don't have to feel bad about it. Like, how much value would this need to have for me to play it? If you get it really early, and you can somehow get it to like 30 or 50 regen, that is like good in the early mid game. But probably not even good enough. Finally, a regen item for Pig. Oh, he has a couple. And they've all been nerfed. Well, not all, but a lot of them have been nerfed. I wonder if Wrist Warrior activates drum when used. No, it doesn't. Because the passive doesn't do anything. The passive is give adjacent item shield. When it activates, it doesn't deal damage. It's already not bad with Pen FT. It feels like a little bad to play, I think. I don't know. I don't think this is an item I would like to have on board as Pig. This one is hard to evaluate because it's not something you're using to win fights. This is like an econ item, and that's really all it is. It's an econ item that you maybe can play if you somehow get value on it. The thing about items like this is if you're putting a medium-sized item like this in the board, it doesn't really help you win a fight. So if it doesn't help you win a fight, how are you going to get that 3 value? It will just break immediately and you don't really get anything. So this is something that you would have to play against PvE to even get value on it. You can still scale it with the rewards card or the ledger or something. But yeah, I don't know. Kind of like a scuffed Vanessa poster. I don't even think it's a poster because Vanessa has like a couple of items you really want in her inventory, like the wanted poster and docks. Shovel, I guess, fishing rod. This is like, you need to have it on the board for it to do anything at all. Okay, if you lose a fight with Pen FT and the other one that buff value, would it get destroyed for that fight value? That's a interesting question. I don't think so. I think it would reset before you get the gold from Pen FT. Otherwise, this would be like kind of a crazy... No, it wouldn't be crazy because you still need to lose for it. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea if it gets the value if it's destroyed. If you're buffing the value of this in the fight, I don't think you actually get the value when it breaks. Like the additional value, but I could be wrong with that. If it worked like that, it could have a use. Yeah, but I don't like having the mindset of, okay, I'm gonna go in and I'm playing weak items, but it's okay if I lose. Like, I'd rather just win, you know? Winning is good, guys. Winning fights is really, really good in Bazaar. The value resets when you click the arrow to go the next day. Yeah. Yeah, so I really don't know. It'd be cool if you keep it, but I'm somewhat doubtful. Okay, so now that I have gone over all of the pick art, I will actually just post everything here. There you guys go. So if you go to the Bazaar updates channel on the Discord, you can see all of them. Look at it more closely for yourself. And in the meanwhile, I will review the MAK cards. Let me find them. So we have 10 cards for MAK as well. 5 have been released or revealed by Retromation. And 5 of them, I believe, by BaSnazer. The thing is, I don't know who revealed what card. So go check out their channel, their Twitch, their YouTube. Anything, show some love to the Bazaar creators working hard to give you this content. And I'll do my duty and tell you how good they are when in reality they're trash and the other way around. Okay, Barbed Claws. 5 seconds, deal 5 damage at bronze. This has +1 multicast for each player with poison. Yeah, this looks like a poppy field item. Let's see, I mean, MAK is my least played hero just because he came out the most recent, so I'm trying to think. There's nothing in the early game, currently in the game, that poisons you? This is just a better Fang? No, not really. Because Fang poisons for more the more damage it has. This feels like a poppy field item, but a 5 seconds item for Poppy Field is not great. Even if you only poison foe, it's good. It's alright. I think it's okay. I think it's good if you have like left-handed or something. If you have left-handed, this is completely nuts. I'm kind of blanking on like what other damage buffs MAK has in the early game. Because I don't think he has any great ones. There's Poppy Field. There's like the regen stuff, like Moose and stuff. There's some new stuff that works with this. Yeah, I think we should just move on and look at the rest before we rate this. Okay. So, fungal spores. Your poison items gain 2 poison for the fight on a 4-second cooldown. I think this one is actually quite good. I don't think this is the kind of item that you play in the late game, but in the early game, giving this to a poison item that has multicast, or just running like a really wide poison board with the emerald, I think it is. The emerald that already gives like your poison items poison as a passive. This looks pretty good to me. In the early game. Early game looks strong. The thing is, this will usually go off before you even get your first poison item off. Interesting to see enchants on this. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, maybe it also gives buffs. I like this. I think it's cool. Like a small death cap, yeah. It's unlikely to be good in the late game, but in the early mid game, it's pretty good. Okay, we have infused bracers. 5-second cooldown. Poison both players for 5. So this starts at gold. When you poison yourself, your weapons gain plus damage for the fight equal to 1 time the amount poisoned. The weapon to the left has lifesteal. Okay, so there we go. This one is pretty great with the barbed claws. Pretty goddamn great. Scuffed Poppy Field. I don't think you can like compare this to Poppy Field. It's the same way that we're looking at some of the pig items and it's like, oh, this is good for drum. This feels like it's kind of its own archetype where you can play with Poppy Field maybe. But it seems like overkill. This is a very good item, I think, because of this. The weapon to the left has lifesteal. When you poison yourself, your weapons gain damage. Poison both players 5. Okay, on a 5-second cooldown. Yeah, we have to move on. I think this is like the kind of package we have to like see in its totality to really make sense of it. Because this is such a specific archetype, and nothing else from MAK currently does that. At the start of each fight, poison yourself 4. The item to the left of this has plus crit chance equal to your poison. Equal to your poison. Do you want to give your item 100% crit? You're probably gonna die. Bro, I'm looking at chat. This one is insane. Dog shit. Weird. Scary. Absolute dog shit. Like, it's either a 1 or a 10. It can't be anything else. Have we ever got new skills with these packs? They look too specific. I don't think so. Actually, no, we did. Because Pig suddenly had access to burn skills after the last pack. Yeah, in the early game, 4 poison is a lot, and in the late game, 4 poison is not so much. I actually think this is pretty good. This is a small item with a downside that does have some synergies that can give you like a crazy amount of crit chance. What's the higher rarity? Poison yourself more? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like equal to twice your poison? Unless Exodius next photo, so I actually think it looks pretty good, man. The thing is, you're poisoning yourself, but you're also getting like something to make you more durable. Like the weapon to the left of this has lifesteal, well, it also buffs your damage. This is like obviously pretty great. And then this is just like whatever. It's required for the synergy. But giving yourself lifesteal just to keep you alive, like very often when you're playing MAK, I feel like you're just going over the top with your regen or your lifesteal. Like you're just over healing. Poisoning yourself, I feel makes a lot of sense. Okay, and then we have Peace Rod. This is a medium property. 7 seconds, gain 2 regeneration for the fight. When you visit a merchant, permanently destroy the weapon to the left of this to increase this item's regeneration by its value. Yeah, this one I don't know. This is really unique. This is super unique, but I don't see it, man. That's crazy. Oh yeah, I posted everything in the Discord. If you go to Bazaar updates on the Discord, they're all there. You can probably find them elsewhere as well. But I just thought like I'd keep it all contained and easy to access. Exclamation mark Discord. Yeah, this seems not great, but maybe I'm missing something. It starts at bronze too. It depends how it levels. It looks like an insane enchant target. Yeah, maybe you're right. I would really, really love it if it's not exclusive weapon. Imagine lead. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, lead is 0 value. But gold isn't. It has its moments, does it really? Oh my. Okay, I'm actually really excited to either somehow cook with this or just get completely stomped by it because I don't see the vision. But that's the beauty of Bazaar. Sometimes you don't see the vision and then you get stomped by like something you didn't even know was possible. I may have also fucked myself. Yeah, this seems like a big oops. I shouldn't have gone to that vendor with this item to the left of it. Oops, there goes my runic blade and diamond. Moose item? I mean, that's true, actually. It would be a moose item, yeah. That's pretty much all MAK items. Oops. I actually love that playstyle, by the way. Like, when there's, like, a fine balance between, okay, I'm really screwing myself over, but I also get something really good for it. That's a fine line to walk, and it is really satisfying. I remember when Runeterra tried to do it, and it just completely backfired. Like, it was just awful. They had a 1 mana card that was like, it costs 1 mana, and when you attack, deal damage to yourself or something. And I was like, yeah, this is shit. I don't know why this is in our game, and they just removed that text entirely. Oh no, my restorative moose staff is gone. Yeah. As a not item value character, though, I think 7 seconds is a lot. I think it's kind of necessary because the payoff can be really, really ridiculous. Like, okay, like lately when I've played MAK, I've kind of struggled making a lot of money with him. It was really easy before, and then they kind of like that got taken away a bit. Well, straight up, because like a diamond gold chunk gives like what, 12 gold? It used to give like 40 or something. Economy's hitting MAK hard too. So I'm struggling for the money. Otherwise, you could just buy every weapon, right? And if you buy every weapon, this will pretty easily, like, you destroy 1 weapon in the mid-game, it's like plus 10 value, plus 10 regen or something. Reagent and food price have gone up, what do you expect? Yeah, it makes sense. I gotta keep the MAK down. MAK still has a relatively easy time econ. Yeah, it's gotten better. I actually really like where they landed with him. I think some of the values, in my eyes, are a little bit off, but in general, I think his playstyle is a lot better because of the catalysts. That was my main complaint with MAK. It's like, okay, it's like potion distillery or nothing, but now you have like a bunch of items that make catalysts, and it feels like the perfect in-between. I've actually like been playing him a lot more because of it too. I like this item. The more I look at it, the more I like it, because it looks like you're not getting a lot from it, but I feel like this pretty easily goes to like 100 plus regen if you're committing. Diamond tier cooldown is reduced. Oh, that would make it even better, yeah. If it goes like 7, 6, 5, 4. The catalyst was a really good save. Yeah, it was perfect. I wasn't even thinking that. I was like, it just needs more items to transform, as in like more potion distilleries, but the catalyst was perfect. 7-second cooldown. Yeah, that's a deal breaker in a late game. That is a deal breaker in a late game. You need to get this down somehow, so if it skills its cooldown with tiers, I think this might actually be pretty playable. Like, you also have to realize when you're playing Moose, you go invulnerable for like 2 seconds at Diamond, right? That is enough time to proc the Peace Rod and then just like get your health back and then one-shot them. Actually, yeah, no, unironically, the more I look at it, the more I like it. I'm kind of a fan, actually. I'm cooking with this item. I was like, this is trash, but I kind of like it. I like, now that I have the values of weapons in my head, whereas like sometimes a weapon is just like 12 value, that goes pretty fast, man. Getting gaslit by an unreleased item is crazy. As a card gamer, that's nothing new, man. I've been doing this for 4 years. I like it. I actually, I really like it. And then we have the Wild Quillback. Yeah, look at his nose. I love this guy, man. Why is this art so... This art goes so hard. He's just happy to be here. This item's gonna jump scare me every time I re-roll a store. Okay, medium friend. When a player uses a weapon, is that... Sunny, is that... Bro, come on, man. Is that... What do you mean, is that you? Look, man, I wear a... this is me.
My people lack ambition. I took it all.
So, how come this one can stand and talk, and this one doesn't look like he can stand and talk? Should I go on with the card reveals like this? Okay. When a player uses a weapon, poison that player 3. When a player uses a non-weapon item, that player gains 3 regen for the fight. Goofy versus Pluto logic, like, actually. Yeah, this... Okay, this one I generally don't see the vision. I was looking at this one for a while, and I was like, yeah, okay, I can play this, but this, I don't see it. You're gonna think like, oh shit, I'm doing self-poisoning, and it's like giving me some payoff. And then if I play against Vanessa, she spams weapons, and she poisons herself for 3, and then you realize that every time she uses a weapon, she poisons herself for 3, but then she also hits you for like 80. So that just doesn't seem like a great trade-off. Try to imagine a board where I'm like happy playing this. Nightshade item. Yeah, maybe. If this is good, it's for this, right? You're doing something without weapons. I don't think this one works if you're playing for this. This one, I think the way this card is designed is like, yeah, we need some payoff for like self-poisoning, but also like the self-regen angle. So this feels like a bonus almost, where it's like sometimes you put it on a board when you're doing self-poisoning, but it will never be good enough. It has to be good enough for this second part of the text. If this item is playable, it's purely because you're playing it for this. And I don't know, I don't really see that right now. You do have the secret formula. Or is it secret formula? It's the... Is it the Viper Cane? There is an item, I think it's the Viper Cane, that gives an item regen, extra regen, based on its damage. And I think there's a skill that like when you slow, burn, poison, you also give a regen item 1 or 2 or 3 extra regen every time you do it. That might actually be pretty good. That's that. Okay. Every time I just completely dismiss an item, and then I think about the synergies, I'm like, huh. Alright, hold on. I think this is good with the skill. Giving enemy regen sounds really bad. Not really, no. I don't think so. Like, not even at all, actually. I think it's almost completely irrelevant. The thing with these items is always you're planning for it, and your opponent isn't. That's the thing. So if you have a skill or the Viper Cane or something where you can somehow increase the amount of regen you get from this, you can very quickly go galactic. This might actually be a Viper Cane or that one skill item. If you're running a board that just like poisons, slows, freezes, and you have this guy on the board, and you're increasing the regen, like every time you use a non-weapon item, that player gains... Oh, actually, then you're giving them regen too. Oh. Okay, no, it's terrible. Right. No, it's just terrible. That you're never killing them. I was like, oh, that's only for me, but no, that increased regen is then also for them. You're gonna be the one that has synergy with regen though, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't see it. Okay, rapid injection system. When you poison yourself, poison 4. When you use an adjacent item, poison yourself 4 and gain 2 regeneration for the fight. Huh. That's actually really good. Wait, is this not insane? This one seems insane. Does it really? Yeah, this one seems crazy good. No? Because like, when I'm using an adjacent item, I poison myself, but I also poison them. But I'm basically only poisoning myself for 2, because I get 2 regen. This is another item where I can increase the regeneration that I'm getting on this. And yeah, Spider Mace should proc twice. Yeah, it's 2 procs for Spider Mace. So Spider Mace is a 6-second cooldown item. And then like if you put another one next to it, it's like 2-second cooldown. If you have 2 Spider Maces next to this, it's a 2-second cooldown item. The actual angle of these items, I think it's Nightshade. No, Nightshade sucks. Nightshade is not a good item. We've not seen the payoff yet, I don't think. These are all like good. I'm assuming there's payoff. I saw test subject A. I think that one is pretty good payoff. We'll get to it in a second, I think. This seems good for doing what you want to do. Like if you care about self-poisoning, this seems like the best way to do it. This is a bro. This is the bro. Test subject alpha, large weapon friend. Deal 50 damage. When you use an adjacent item, poison both players 10. When you poison, this gains plus damage for the fight equal to the amount poisoned. Oh my god. Test subject with the mace and the injection, you're already infinite? Yeah. It's an 11-second cooldown. Yeah, this one seems good. I think the most important thing is this. We use an adjacent item, poison both players 10. And then you get like a finisher in a way. When you poison. It's kind of slow. No, because it has a passive. Yeah, these items are like a big question mark. I think it's playable though. I think there is power there. But I know we're missing one really good item that we haven't seen yet. I think it's good. Okay, when I say I think it's good, I think it's like playable with the cards that want to be in this package. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let's move on to the next. Venomous Dose. Poison both players 2. Gain regeneration for the fight equal to this item's poison. Yeah, it's the same thing, but it starts at bronze. This is giving me shot glasses vibes, where it's like you're giving yourself a downside, but the downside is completely like erased by the upside because poisoning 2 and regenning 2. You're just poisoning them for 2, basically. It's completely cancels itself out for you, but yeah, exactly. So this is like entirely synergy related. What's important about these items is that it is 2 synergy or 2 poison procs. So like if you care about poisoning, like the quantity, then it's 2. Is regen -1 poison? No. Yeah, okay, so the last item, I think we just have to go to it, is this one. Adrenal Converter. This is poison both players 5 on a 6-second cooldown. When you poison yourself, gain 10 regeneration for the fight and haste 1 item 2 seconds. This item is broken. I think this item is very, very, very strong. And this is what ties it all together. We should have probably looked at this one first. Is it really? Yeah, this is insane. This is insanely good. And it's mostly because of the haste 1 item for 2 seconds. Like, the regen is good, don't get me wrong. Like, this definitely helps because this will, like, very often you're poisoning, like, below 10. So if you do poison yourself, you get 10 regen to cancel that out. You usually, like, will end up healing yourself more. But then hasting 1 item for 2 seconds seems nuts to me. Even Boros seems better now. Yeah, maybe. This is the payoff. This is, like, the cornerstone of the build, but then you still have to kill your opponent. That's also, like, not unimportant, and it feels like that will probably be with test subject alpha. This is also when you use an adjacent item, poison both players. So every time you use an adjacent item, you're poisoning them and yourself for 10, and then you get 10 regen. So that's also, like, you cancel it out as well there. You need too many pieces? I don't agree. I don't think you need too many pieces. I think if you have this on the board, any other piece works. And the rest is like, there are pretty easy way to cancel out the downsides. This one doesn't really count. This one might be good though as well because you give even more damage to the test subject. This is an instant haste. This is rigged. This item becomes a lot better, by the way, now. Because it's like, it's rigged because you're hasting someone at combat start. You're getting 10 regen if you poison yourself. And you're giving test subject alpha, like a lot of crit chance. Actually, that might not be good because then this is the adjacent item you're not using. This is the one that doesn't really fit in this package. I think it's rapid injection system. The adrenal injector. Converter. Adrenal converter. This one, that's 4 spaces. You want test subject alpha, that's 7. And then you want like a spider mace. Just to be able to use it fast. Maybe this as well. This one seems a bit weak though because it's 4-second cooldown. Yeah, you need like you need support just fast items to trigger the test subject in this. I think that's the main thing. It's a really cool build. I don't know how it like does in the late game though. We'll have to wait and see. I really like these items. Is there an easy way for me to rate them? I don't have all of them on screen, so it's kind of hard. Okay, it looks pretty awful, but it is a tier list. These are all the items. I think I accidentally put the adrenal converter in there twice. But we can do it like this, right? They're a bit small, so it's hard to see. So if you don't know what the items do, I would recommend going to the Discord and just reading them. I'm just gonna do it with the images only. Okay, so let's start with the pick items first. This is the one where you gain damage based on your income. I think this one is actually like just S or A tier. I think I'm putting this on S. This just feels like an insane item for scaling, for gym, and for drum. Just always good, I think. Yeah, and income. I think this is just like everything Pig wants. This is the Speedrunner. I think this one is A or B. I think this one is a bit hard to build around, so I'm going to put it in B. Hyper Greens, I think, is also B. Maybe C. I think it's like good in the mid game. I think you're unlikely to play this in the late game. It is a good transition tool, but it's not unplayable. I'm going to put the Rice Baller in A, because I feel like it could easily be a build around. Yeah, this feels like it could be a build around. I think if you have good payoff and you can get your items to 10 plus value, which is not super hard, feels like it would be a good item. Showcase is also A tier. I think it's great in the early and mid game. And it will win you some games as a scaling option, and then it falls off later on. And then we have Pen FT. This one I think is also A tier. Maybe, am I rating these too high? I'm really optimistic about these items. I'll put it in B. I'll put this one in B because it's good early on and then also falls off a cliff. This one I think is D. This is the one with the value and game region equal to its value. I'm gonna put this one in A. This is the 28-hour fitness. I could see this being a late game payoff that's very strong. I think it's a little bit hard to get there though. So these are in that same build, so we'll put them all together. This is like the combo, I think. I feel like Matchbox is better than Burn One. That's like saying Shark Claws is better than Billboard. They're two completely different items. Don't you just play Matchbox with this, if anything? Fungal Spores. This is the one... God, I already forgot. Let me see. Fungal Spores. Your poison items gain 2 poison. Okay, I think this is good in the early game and then falls off a cliff. Barbed Claws, I think, is like also C tier. I think there might be a build like this with these two because this is the one that gives this damage. I think it's okay. I don't even think it's that good early. Barbed Claws S. It's multicast 3. Does that matter? Like, nothing in this pack except the infused bracer is giving your weapons damage. Just poison both. Okay, you deal 15 damage on a 5-second cooldown. Poppy Field? I don't even think it's that good with Poppy Field. I think it's okay with Poppy Field. I think it's fine-ish. I think Poppy Field cares way more about fast items than a 5-second cooldown item that hits twice. Okay, next to Large Friend. Yeah, that's where I could see it being good, but I still think you'll have better options. Like, it's a 5-second cooldown item. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. For me, it's C tier. I think it's pretty poor in the early game, and I don't think it scales as well. Infused Bracer, same reason. I don't think Infused Bracers really get you going fast enough, and I don't think this package really lets you play a lot of weapons except this test subject A. Venomous Dose, I think, is also like C tier. It's a do nothing, and on a 4-second cooldown, I don't think you want to place it as like an adjacent item trigger. I think these two might be A tier. This one is C. Actually, this one's probably a bit better. This one gives crit chance. I think this one might be A tier. Because crit chance is crazy. It's 5 times 3, yeah, that's still bad. That's what I'm saying, 15 damage. I'm not a believer. I don't see it. I'm happy being wrong. I don't think this is good. Adrenal Converter is S tier. This one, I'm gonna put it in a C tier, but I'm kind of a believer. It might be D tier, but I think there's an angle. This one I think is D tier. Oh, I have this one here twice. Okay, you can go there twice. I think this is where I would place them. Pen FT is very good. And I think you're gonna see it on a lot of boards, but it just doesn't do anything in a late game. I'm also rating this without knowing what their enchants are and how they scale. So like, it's very easy that at diamonds, these just become like completely crazy and their cooldown go down. So these are some of the poison payoff items that I think are trying to make these items good, like the test subject and this. But I don't know how good they are at it. Whereas the Adrenal Converter is like in S tier while the rest is not, because I feel like it enables the entire build. So depending on what you can do with this item, these might also be S tier, right? Test subject upgrades reduces cooldown by 2 seconds each. So it goes 11, 9, 7. Okay, that makes me put it up a tier. Yeah, 7-second a diamond is actually really good. That makes me also want to move this up, but I'll keep it like this. This feels to me like it is your finisher. It's like the combination of this and this. And then you just want to have items that are like fast between it. This would be my list. This is what I guess the new expansion is going to look like in terms of playability. S tier, to me, feels like it's good at every stage, and as soon as you get the item, you want to make it work. Like, you see it, you buy it every time. I feel like rating something from S to D is pretty arbitrary when you're doing it for Bazaar. I feel like you need like a separate tier where like good early versus buy it as soon as you sell it versus hedge it, like put it in your inventory, see if you can make it work. I think skills that much is not that big number. And you don't care about numbers with this. That's the thing. The numbers don't matter on this. I think you're rating it wrong if you're looking at the numbers. This item is important because of the adjacency. And if you can have fast adjacent items, then this will scale its damage, or you get to hit more often with it. That is why I think this item is very good. You need this. When you use an adjacent item, poison both layers, you need that. You can't play without that. Retro said in the review video, the syringe was confirmed nerfed to 5 seconds already, by the way, so apparently Telpelfeld is broken. This one. This one is 5 seconds now? That's interesting. Then I'm completely underrating it. It didn't look that good to me. Poison both players too, gain regen equal to the fight to this item's poison. Who wins the expansion, MAK or PYG? I think PYG stuff are a lot of items that really help him with archetypes that are already pretty playable. Whereas MAK is like an entirely new thing, so it's kind of hard to rate. But I would give it to PYG. I would pretty comfortably give it to PYG. I'm really excited to try these items. I'm probably going to buy the expansions as soon as they're available too. Instead of like leveling my pass. So on Wednesday or possibly Thursday all day. I mean, definitely Thursday all day. I'll be playing with these items. I don't know what's going to happen on Wednesday evening. It kind of depends on when the expansion goes live. And what happens with Runeterra. But I'm excited to try them out.
Thinking outside the box, alien Victor, time bomb printer, 1, 2, meta shift.